Afghanistan. Now, you could argue there was a reason we were in Iraq. I actually still don't believe it. I think they're the most ungrateful people on the planet. We were promised that we would get reparations in the form of oil. Bush lied not only about WMDs, but he also lied about reparations. The Iraq war fundamentally bankrupted our treasury. What did it cost? Does anyone really know? What, $1 trillion, $10 trillion? Nobody knows what it cost. So you say, all right, the war's over. You liberated 24 million Shiites so they can join Ahmadinejad in creating a greater Persia. Wonderful. I'm glad we just helped Ahmadinejad create a greater Persia. Great. Now they range all the way to the Euphrates. The same mentality from Iran is now in there. At least we had the psycho Saddam Hussein, a Sunni, keeping them under control. Now they're liberated. And what they give us? Nothing. Not a barrel of oil for free. In fact, the oil rights were leased to China, the last I checked. So why were we in Iraq? Nobody knows. It was Bush's blunder. In plain English, he was whispered in his ear by a Weekly Standard crowd, of whom Bill Kristol is the general. He's the general. He's the armchair general. Yeah, we'll go in because they bombed us. Now go into Afghanistan because they didn't bomb us, but they're generally no good, and we're gonna build a nation of Democrats. Democratic, they're going to go and vote now with a dot on their head. They're going to go in and vote, and they're all going to be happy when you put up a camel burger stand. They're going to put on a little hat and say, would you like camel dung with that burger? Fried, whatever they eat. I don't know, camel burger. I don't think they kill their camels over there. They all can't wait to work in a camel stand selling camel meat. They can't wait to become a real American. They just can't wait to see Walmart on every corner in Kabul, and the McDonald's, and a pizza place. And then they cannot wait. They just can't wait to see internet pornography in every home. They can't wait to see their daughters become whores like the American women. They can't wait to see them wearing tight pants, showing everything you never wanted to see. They just can't wait to see the women walking around like Jezebels. Everything they've ever wanted, they can't wait to come into their country. Let me tell you something. If you were in Afghanistan, you'd be fighting along with them to make sure that the poison doesn't come into their household. And moreover, they would rather not see our legal system come into their country. They'd rather trust their life with a warlord than with a Harvard lawyer. They feel they get more justice from a warlord than they would from Marvin Schwartz from Harvard. And if you don't like what I'm saying, it's too bad. Go sue me. See if you can ban me in America next. I don't care. I'm too old to give a damn. I've earned the right to tell you the way I see it. And I'm going to tell you the way I see it. And you ought to be glad that I'm on the radio. You ought to be glad that you have Michael Savage speaking the truth. Because without me, what would there be? What you'd have is the neocon saying, go to war. War is good. Let your children die. Because we don't have any, because we never even got married. And when we did get married, we married sterile girls in their 30s who don't even want children. They only married us for our broadcast money. Yeah, tell it like it is, man. Yeah, you tell him, Mike. Go, man, go. So here we are, an endless war. First Iraq, now Afghanistan. But you're not over there, are you? Over there, over there. You want the other boys to go over. You want their sons to die. Not your son. You want your son to follow you in your footsteps. That's natural. And you want freedom in America. You think that by killing Afghanis, you're going to have freedom? What the hell are we fighting for? I don't know. The last war we ever fought that made sense to me as an outsider was World War II. In fact, I'm obsessed with World War II. I watch it all the time. I'm obsessed with a military history channel. People say, well, why do you always watch that? Because I love to see the bad guys lose. I know who the bad guys were and the good guys. And I know how it starts with Hitler and the wonderful, beautiful uniforms. And they're all pompous up there, drugged out of their minds, the devil-worshipping Nazis up there, marching around in their clean Hugo Boss outfits. And I see how it ends. It ends with their country in rubble. The 1,000-year Reich lasted only a few years, and the country was destroyed because of the insanity of a few leaders. You look at what a few leaders can do to a people. The Germans were no better or no worse than we are. Do you know that? Are you aware of the fact that the German people themselves were no different than we are? But it took one leader to poison their minds and lead them to the worst part of themselves. And he destroyed their nation. And that's the power of what a leader can do to a nation when there are no checks and balances. That's the power of a dictatorship, that the people can be dragged into areas they never wanted to go. And in order to survive, they say amen. They go along with it. And here we are. Now we have a leader, and we don't know where he's dragging us. We do know that he has dictatorial tendencies. We do know that virtually everything he does is done by hook or by crook. Virtually everything this man does is not straight up. Virtually everything Obama does is crooked, one way or the other, against the will of the American people. It is crooked up and down the line. By hook or by crook, they trick you into it. They force you into it. They steal it from you. They beat it out of you. They threaten you, but they take it from you. You don't want cap and trade, you're going to get it anyway during the recess session. You didn't want a destruction of the medical care system, as imperfect and as corrupt and bloated as it was. It was the best thing you could ever believe. Well, guess what? It was stolen from you by the wonderful regime of Obama. You don't like this. It doesn't matter what you like. You don't want 40 million illegal aliens, primarily from Mexico, turned into instant Democrat voters and citizens, people who don't even know what the American flag is. They don't know how to speak a word of English. You don't want it? It's too damn bad. He does. And he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care what you think. Barbara Boxer doesn't care what you think. None of the Democrats care what you think. John McCain doesn't care what you think. Most of the Republican Party doesn't care what you think. They all want the illegal aliens legalized, and that's why it's liable to happen. And so if you think that Obama is acting alone, you're out of your mind. There was a meeting not 2 weeks ago when some of the richest men in the world, some of whom identify as conservatives, said, oh, we're in favor of immigration reform. We need those slave workers in our factories. We need those cheap laborers in our factories, in our fields, in our hotel chains. And so, therefore, we're in favor of amnesty for illegals. You didn't see that? I think Warren Buffett was there. The computer geek, whatever his name is, I don't even remember his name, the one who acts like Mr. Sheep, you know, the guy who's acted as the sheepish guy, the college guy with the glasses, and a few others. Oh, they wanted, all of them wanted amnesty for illegals. So Obama does what they want, not what you want. You're the peons. You and I are fundamentally, you think I'm different than you because I have a radio show? You're wrong. I'm no different than you are in many ways. No, not really. Not at all. No different in some ways, very different in other ways. But the fact of the matter is we have no power. We're not in authority. We have no voice whatsoever. We may think we have a voice because I speak and you speak and we talk on the radio and you buy the books. But guess what? It doesn't seem to translate to Barack Hussein Obama or to John McCain or to Barbara Boxer. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. They do what the billionaires who put them in power want them to do. And apparently if they want illegal aliens granted amnesty, they're going to get it. Doesn't matter how many times you say no. They're going to do it because we do not live in a republic anymore. We do not live in a democracy. We live in an oligarchy. I've been telling you that for 15 straight years. An oligarchy, a government of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich. Now, unto itself, oligarchies are not necessarily dictatorships, nor are oligarchies necessarily dark and evil. Sometimes oligarchies can be quite benevolent. Sometimes oligarchies can do the right thing because sometimes the desires and the needs of the oligarchs are the same as the average person. But that's when the oligarchs were from the country. That's when the oligarchs were Americans, for example, or such, and they still had American feelings. Are you going to tell me that this breed of billionaire has an American feeling in one cell of their body? When they have companies that do business all over the world and America's merely another market, America's a rather small market when you compare it to China. So to them, what's America? It's a zip code. It's a zip code. It's just a market to them. It's not a flag. It's not a border, and it's not defined by a border, language, or culture. That's why Obama said not 2 weeks ago that a country is not defined by birth or by blood. Well, what the hell is it defined by then? Where you do business? So to him, of course, it's not defined by birth or blood because he wasn't born here, and he has no blood attachment to America. That we understand. So he's the perfect internationalist, a representation for the internationalists who are dragging us into a hell that you cannot even imagine. A hell where there will be no checks and balances. A hell where there is no law except the law of those who make the law, not those who write the laws or those who read the laws, but those who make the laws. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the last great days of the great republic of the United States of America, and I believe that it is almost out of the hands of the American people. I believe that unless the Tea Parties get organized and come together and create one candidate, we're not going to see this revolution in November that the neocons and the others on the Republican side are predicting. And moreover, do I think we need that? I'm going to tell you something. Do you actually think that if we put that gang back in power, you're going to have a different America? The same gang that wrecked the country and gave it to Obama is suddenly going to come back and save you? Are you crazy? Are you out of your damn mind that you actually believe these schmucks in the radio tell you, well, the Republican resurgence, well, we're going to save this country. We're going to have smaller government. You're going to have smaller nothing. You're going to have the same garbage. 2-card Monty. There's no bean under either nut. I'll be right back.
Devil or angel, I can't make up my mind which one you are. I'd like to wake up and find.
Welcome to the Savage Nation. My religion is my religion. My religion is survival. I learned a long time ago that all religions mean nothing unless it gives you the ability to survive.